We now know the trial of Roy Coons Jr. will go into a second week. He's the man charged with murder and attempted rape of a child. Coons lived 2 doors down from Yhoana Arteaga and used to cut the family's yard. News Channel 5's Brandon Marshall is live outside the courtroom. He's been following this all week long. What's the latest, Brandon?
Well, Roy, the latest is in court. We heard the recorded conversation between Roy Coons Jr. and a lead detective about 8 days after Yhoana Arteaga was murdered. And in that conversation, we heard the detective ask Coons if he had ever knocked on the victim's home that day, in which he replied no. Then the detective also asked Coons if his DNA would be found on the victim's body, and Coons said he had shaken her hand in the past. You'll remember back on August 10th, 2017, 12-year-old Yhoana Arteaga texted her mom around 4:19 saying she thought the man who cut their grass had knocked on their door. Arteaga was also found dead a few hours later. There was male DNA found on her believed to partially be Coons. In the recording, we heard Coons tell the detective he went out that day to get cigarettes around noon and walked past the house again around 3 o'clock. We know Coons was arrested almost a month after this recorded conversation.
I wouldn't kill a child if I had to. I wouldn't kill a child if somebody had a gun to me and said I didn't kill a child. When I seen them, I never seen them fighting. I never seen them arguing. I never seen them fighting or anything. It was just laughter.
And about 30 witnesses have testified throughout this week for the prosecution, and the defense will have their witness believed to be Roy Coons Sr., the father of Roy Coons Jr. He will testify on Monday. But for now, that is the latest. In Nashville, Brandon Marshall, News Channel 5.